Hey gang, Uncle Todd here, and it's Sunny, and we are looking at the final episode of Creature Commandos, and what an episode it was! Our flashbacks are about Nina, who of course is the amphibious, well, actually not even amphibious, fish woman, and her birth was very complicated. She was born with her lungs on the outside of her body. And she has trouble breathing, so she has to have a breathing machine. And she may live a few months like this. But her father is a geneticist. And first he builds these large machines to help to basically it fits around her and forces air in and out of her lungs, allowing her to breathe. The problem being, she has a large machine on herself and she can't really move around that much. The stress of all this causes her parents to divorce, and she gets homeschooled for a while, and then around looks like junior high, high school, she oh no, before that, using his geneticist, he begins to add new DNA into her system, which transforms her into part fish, part human. She can't breathe air, but she can freely breathe underwater. And so he develops a helmet system for her. And after being homeschooled until she's roughly around junior high or high school age, he puts her into a probably a private school, but where she can meet other kids, socialize. But she's mercilessly bullied because she's so weird and different. And eventually it gets to the point where she writes her father a goodbye note and strips off her machine, dives into the sewer, and leads to the waterways where she lives for a while. Until someone catches sight of her. Now there's this mysterious fish woman in the area, and they've got to do something about it, and she gets captured. And her father finds out about this and rushes to the scene where he tries to push through to get to her, and he is shot by the police right in front of her. And then she's thrown into a tank and delivered to Waller. Well, you don't get to show that part, but it's pretty much what happens. Meanwhile, in the present day, Eric Frankenstein and the Commandos both arrive at the castle around the same time. The Commandos break in, and they begin to go through the security footage for around the area. They go back, trying to map out all the ways and how they can best avoid the guards, and they see something really weird, but we don't get to see it. And then Eric, who's climbed up the wall with after them, pops in, and instead of immediately telling them what he knows, begins soliloquizing about his bride, which causes the bride to shoot him several times. And when he tries to tell her about Flag, she says she doesn't want to hear it and empties the rest of her gun into him. Now they have to escape, so they've got to sneak in a different way. Elena, meanwhile, has decided she's going to go swimming because they're not going to stop her from living her life. Okay. The Commandos, Dr. Phosphorus is using his power to burn through the wall that surrounds the castle so they can get back in undetected. Back in the States, Flag wakes up. And he can only get out a few words. Basically, Walter was lied to, and the doctor isn't who she's supposed to be. Then he goes under again. So she and an assistant head over to the doctor's house, where they find the exploded body of Clayface and the several days deceased doctor. So she immediately tries to call the Commandos and is having trouble getting through. Commandos get through the wall, find her in the swimming area, which is fed by a river. There's only one way to get to her, only one way to take care of her: Nina. She doesn't want to do it. She's not a killer. Phosphorus has to hold down Weasel because he keeps wanting to protect Elena because she played with him. Anyway, the bride finally convinces Nina and gives her a knife. She dives in the water. She swims up, making her way towards the princess in a shot that is a homage to Jaws, looking up from underneath to someone treading water. Weasel can't take it and runs towards Elena, calling out, which alerts the guards who shoot at him. And Elena's made aware, and then when she looks down, there's Nina. Nina pulls her under. They have a struggle. Elena takes the knife from Nina and stabs her. Nina floats to the surface, out where the Commandos are. She went down through the river and back up. Elena follows her. They're all shocked. Suddenly, the guards, who all have guns on them, are told to stand down because the head of security runs up with the phone, hands it to the bride, and says, "It's for you, Miss Waller." Miss Waller explains they were lied to. Clayface impersonated someone. It was all a plan by Cersei. So, all's well, right? While Weasel is being congratulated by all the guards and given ear scruffs because he's a hero, and Phosphorus is bitching because when he tried to hold back Weasel bit him, burning Weasel's mouth and hurting Phosphorus. So he's a little ticked off that, oh yeah, he's the big hero. What am I? I'm stuck here with wounds. Anyways, the bride goes off to talk to Elena. Elena apologizes for killing her friend, but it was self-defense. And while the bride's looking over the bookcase, seeing such classic literature as Jules Verne, Mary Shelley, Bram Stoker, she explains that this was all a double setup. Elena is going to start World War III. The footage they saw that they were shocked by was Elena and Clayface as a way to get around Cersei's wanting to kill her. She had Clayface impersonate the doctor to verify Cersei's story. And then when it would be revealed that it was Clayface, Elena would get off scot-free and could continue her attempt to take over the world. Now the bride, she kind of scoffs about Flag being taken in so easily. Typical male. And she doesn't really care if Elena wants to start World War III and destroy everything. She's got no use for humans anyways. But Elena did kill the only decent, kind individual she had ever met. And when Elena pulls out a gun bride's already got hers out and called shot to the head. She then gathers up the other two, and they leave before things get found out by the guards. Back at the States, Walter's glad everything turned out reasonably okay. And the bride's being moved to new quarters with the rest of her team. Team? What team? Well, we got Weasel, we got Phosphorus, Shark King. I don't remember the name of the vampire bat lady. And a reconstructed GI robot. She got nothing better to do. Oh, as for Eric, he didn't die. He's sitting in the cabin with the old blind gypsy woman who... Was she blind? The gypsy woman who was keeping an eye on his cottage for him, or the castle for him. His castle. And soliloquizing about the bride. The fact that she shot and tried to kill him just proves how much she loves him. Yeah, really good ending to the season. I'm hoping for a season 2 if they can get around to it. Really sad about Nina's dying. That is tragic and ironic. The only one who didn't want to kill gets killed. Trying to kill someone. But as for the rest, all good. I'm sure Flag will survive and recover. After all, they got the actor as that character in the new Superman movie. I'll talk about that another time. And yeah, I really like this series. Hoping for more. Excellent end. Very gory demise for the twist villain. And yeah, that's really all I have to say about this one. Please hit like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.